And welcome back. Well, the stars aligned last night on the season premiere of Dancing with the Stars.
Yep, and our celebrity gossip, Penelope Jean, is here with all the details on last night's star-studded cast. How are you, Penelope?
Welcome back.
Great.
Yeah. Good,
Wasn't
good.
that fun last night?
A lot of
2 hours, yeah.
And Margaret Cho, that cape, it was beautiful. I should have worn a cape just like it. What was that?
I thought it was hilarious, and even the judges didn't know if this was meant to be, if it was part of the routine. It turns out it was.
Being a comedian,
how could you
yeah.
do? Yeah. It was so funny. I laughed so hard, just like totally laughed out loud. She was all wrapped up in this crazy gold winged cape. So it was entertaining. It was very much Margaret, very very funny.
What kind of marks did she get? I didn't.
Pretty low. I think it could have been a total of 15, if I'm not mistaken.
The judges like to take this kind of more serious, I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They said, you know what, why don't you really kind of take it more seriously and see how you do next week.
And we'll definitely have to see. And then some other standouts. How about Jennifer Grey, which, going into this, I was like, she's going to do well. Just because maybe, Dirty Dancing days, maybe she still has that, and apparently she did.
And she didn't disappoint you, Evan. I mean, she did fantastic. She had the highest marks the night. There she is. Just beautiful. And Carrie Ann actually was brought to tears right here. They had a wonderful dance, highest marks, and they really felt the presence of Patrick Swayze through the dance, is what they were saying. So there was a standing ovation at the end, and I just can't wait to see how she progresses through the weeks. I think for me, she's probably one of my top two.
Yeah, I'm hoping she does well in this too. And you know what? She looks amazing.
Doesn't she?
Because I remember I could have been, let's see, how old was I when Dirty Dancing came out?
Years
Maybe
old.
13? Yeah.
Can you believe it? She is 50 years old.
It looks amazing.
Her friend in the audience, Jamie Lee Curtis, 52. Both of them just lovely.
Well, speaking of Jamie Lee in the audience, that's one of the things that usually happens, especially in the first show. A lot of stars come out, especially some people from the older shows come back to watch. So that's kind of cool to see those people in the audience as well.
Right. Who was in the audience that, a couple of them are actually reporting now for the show. So they're there as media, kind of getting a front row seat.
Yeah, a lot of people giving their take on this show, I've noticed lately. A lot of people talking out.
I mean, it's just completely taken over the ratings. It's one of the #1 shows in prime time.
Yeah.
Perfect. ABC rocks.
Now talk about good ratings and high marks. How about David Hasselhoff?
Okay, another one. I just absolutely laughed hysterically. He was so cheesy. Look at him. I just couldn't. I mean, it was almost like watching a train wreck. I just couldn't take my eyes off it.
And he looks his age. I hate to.
Oh, he does.
But he does. We were just talking about Jennifer, how great she looks. He's definitely away from the orange shorts and the beach.
It was almost hard to watch for me, like on his behalf. It was just, I mean, and the judges did not let up on him at all. He was, I mean, just...
Well, he's a judge himself on another show, and so that's another reason why not to, maybe pick on him a little bit more.
I got to read you some of the things. Carrie Ann said that he looked like the combination of the offspring of Donny Osmond and Jerry Springer.
Wow.
And Bruno said it was a potpourri of insanity.
Potpourri.
And so when David was in the celebrity holding tank afterwards, he said, well, I've been called a potpourri. That's it. So
I don't know. It just, like you said, it was painful when I saw it. It just looked like nothing was fluid. And I really thought he was going to do better than that. Because as Evan was saying, he's a judge on another show. He judges people dancing all the time.
Right.
So you would have thought that maybe he would have taken some of his own judging to heart.
Well, I guess he just doesn't have the moves. We'll see how he does in the weeks to come. I think he'll stay around right now.
Yeah, he's fun to watch. I think he's having a good time with it, too.
Now, the situation...
oh, boy.
This guy... he really does come off arrogant, and that's part of his stitch on his show. But I find that on these competition-based shows where the audience is judging, it's extremely important to be humble. And the audience will actually be voting on likability more than anything else. And so it's very important, if he wants to stay in this, that he kind of has a bit of an attitude check. And really, his personality is one thing, and it's kind of fun. But I think we'd like to see the real person come out and see if he can just get a little humble.
Yeah, and then how about Sarah Palin? Just real quick, let's touch on her because
her daughter, Bristol.
I'm sorry, not Sarah.
Right.
Yes,
There's Sarah Palin though.
There she is somewhere, probably.
Sarah.
Yeah, but Bristol, here she is right here. Now, I don't know. I mean, how was her performance to you?
Okay,
last
you know
night?
what? I thought she did a good first night performance. I think that she was a true amateur, which is the beauty of the show, is you shouldn't go on there where you're already a dancer, I feel.
Right.
If you're an entertainer, a lot of them are also dancers. They have dance experience. It's kind of unfair. And so I thought with Bristol that she did a great job for week 1. Is she a star? I don't think so. So, you know, that's probably after this show she will be.
Seems,
but
Penelope, like sometimes they have these other dancers or professionals that are with them.
Right.
Try to overshadow them. That's kind of a good tactic, don't you think?
You know,
to stick around.
That's what Bert said last night as we were watching the show, actually, that Mark just seemed like he needed to kind of take it down
Dancing
a notch
around her.
to help her out on week 1. Although Mark Ballas is one of the best dance instructors you're going to find, and if anybody can bring her up to speed, he is a fabulous dance coach. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Penelope, for being with us. We'll check back in with you because tonight is a 2-hour results show.
Exactly.
Result show,
So we're going to see who goes home. And what are your bets for who's going home on this one?
I hope the situation.
Yeah, let's say the situation.
Say that out loud.
And there's one other that.
I hope not the Hoff.
You know what? Michael Bolton is my guess to go home.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens. We'll
I'm
talk next Tuesday.
All right, well, thanks, Penelope. We appreciate it.
Thanks.
All right, well, are your kids' backpacks way too heavy? Well, when we get back, we'll talk to someone that's going to tell you exactly what you should be doing about that. Dr. Julie Peterson is in. Stay tuned.